What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video that I'm just gonna talk at y'all for a little bit. Today's video is probably gonna be a little bit shorter just because I don't really have all that much to say today about today's topic. But I say shorter, but the last video was like 43 minutes. I see this one being around 15. If not, I'm gonna keep track. But today we're going to be talking about Doki Doki Literature Club. Pretty sure that's what it's called. I just always called it Doki Doki. But this is a game that I saw on Steam, and I was just like, I want to get into the what would you call it? The visual novel genre eventually, because I'm very interested in playing Steins Gate, which is the game that my favorite anime is based on. So I'm like, yeah, I want to get into that genre eventually. So I was like, but I might not like it. So I see this free one, and I'm like, that looks obnoxious, but I'll give it a try. So I download the game. Don't have any preconceived notions about it. This was about, I think it was the same month that the game came out. I saw it and I was just like, new releases. I'll grab that real quick. And I did not play the game until about, what's today's date? Like February 20th? The February 20th, I think, of, no, it was the 19th. The 19th of 2018. So, I can tell on YouTube this game has exploded, and I'm just like, what is going on? What is so special about this game? I don't understand. So the reason I first got the game is my roommate was just like, hey man, there's this game. Go check it out on Steam. It's really cool. So, and this is what led to me seeing it on Steam for free. And I was like, I'm always interested in this genre. It's popular in Japan, mostly. So maybe I'll like it. I don't know. Probably not. But so I get into this game, and you met with the I hit my desk. But you're met with this extremely like cutesy menu with like 1990s like menu sounds. It's adorable. I'm just like, wow. And it's like, is this really something I'm gonna get myself into today? This pink frilly game. Alright, let's go. I got a free day. I'll just do this. All in one go. No breaks. The game was like 11 hours for me. So that was first maybe a little bit of a mistake to do that all in one go. Maybe not 11 hours. I think I might have left it going on the screen. No, it's probably about that. But so I get into this game, and I'm really bad with names, so I don't remember many names other than like Sayori and Yuri. Monica, I think her name was, and then there was the tsundere pink hair girl. I don't remember her name at all. But so you just, I guess, doing the standard kind of harem anime thing. There's nothing spectacularly like special about your character. You really don't actually talk that much, and I found it a little off-putting that I didn't interact that often. So at first I was just like, if I don't start getting some choices soon, I'm gonna get kind of bored. And then the premise of the game is your buddy Sayori's like, hey man, you want to come join my club? And you're like, not really. I'm like, wow, what a downer you are. But she brings you to her club, cupcakes, nonsense, stuff happens. You join the club eventually, and I met with this poem. There's like, you have to, the only choices you really get to make a few choices, but other than that, also, if you haven't played this game, I'll probably put it in like the description, but please, don't watch people play it on YouTube, don't listen to the rest of this video, just go play the game. Get yourself a free day, have a day off, play it with some friends. It's a good thing to do. So, you go through your interactions during the day, and then you have this screen that you're brought to is to make your poem for the literature club for every day. You have a little share time every time you go into the club. And I was just like, okay, cool. All these words. I'm just gonna write a poem that I would write. And I had some people watching on Discord. I was screen sharing because they're like, "Oh, you've never played before? Yo, I want to watch." It's like, we'll voice act. We'll do fun stuff, which was really fun, by the way. Even though I was voicing only like my character and what was going on, I was a little left out. I was like, "Oh, I hardly ever get to talk." But you're brought to this screen with all these random words, and I'm like, "Okay, cool." So I would pick a word. My first word, and then I would try and make a conducive, at least connective kind of sentence that would work as a poem. So, and they were telling me to go for specific girls, and I was like, "What do you mean by that? What do you mean? I don't understand. How do I know if I'm going for them?" Unbeknownst to me, the other side of the screen actually has an indication of what each girl likes. Like, if you click a word, they have a little chibi that'll jump up and show you that they like that word. And I did not notice that until I was at the end of the game. Absolute end. I was like, what the? They hop up and down? Oh, that's what they meant for go for a specific girl. But I just wrote the poem that I would want to write myself. Like, these are words I would use. This is my tone that I use. Which they told me I exclusively went for Yuri. I'm just like, how do you know? I was like, I was just writing what I want. So, you get to this point where you're starting to get into it. You're like, yeah, I like this. This is a neat way to meet a character. I'm actually starting to have some interactions, even if I don't really have a choice in them. My character's actually doing stuff, putting himself out there to make friends and be romantic, which is not something that I was expecting exactly. I was just like, oh, he is a sly devil. I see you hand feeding that girl right there, boy. Ooh, what you doing? But that made me laugh. Like, I just thought it was freaking like really cute. There was this scene where you're like eating chocolate, and there's like, nah, man, I don't want to make the pages dirty. And you're like, oh, okay. So you just hand feed one of them a chocolate, and you're just like, oh, that's really cute and innocent, isn't it? You're getting into it. You have a few days in the literature club. And the choices you've made gets the characters to like you, and then you choose which one you want to spend a weekend with. And you do a little weekend thing. I did the Yuri route. I feel like maybe a lot of people do that. It's kind of simple to get there, isn't it? And I don't know. But with that route, you're just like painting in a room, like you're painting a little decoration. And this little decoration, y'all finish it, some little cute stuff happens, some weird stuff kinda happens, like you kinda poke your finger and she like puts your finger in her mouth. Like, I was like, what is this about? So at this point, I was just like, okay, I understand why the game is popular. All the girls have something weird about them. There's something weird and messed up about every single one of them. That was my preconceived notion of going into the game. I was like, there's no way this is just normal. There's no way. So, there has to be some sort of horror element, or some sort of weird, glitchy element that is just takes you out of the game and does something weird like that. And I was just thinking, it has to be horror, or it has to be something kind of like Undertale, or just something like Five Nights at Freddy's, something that people can just easily attach to, that people think is new, a brand new idea that they just are just like blown away with. So I was like, okay. So I was thinking, oh, it's the horror route, and it has to be. That's probably what it is. So I go through, and your best buddy, which I had like super just been like, yo, she's my best friend This is Sayori. This is my best buddy. She's gonna help me. She's gonna be my wingman. We're gonna get all the ladies. You know what I'm saying? And she's just like, hey man, I'm really sad, and I think I like you more than you like me. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what is happening? I don't want to deal with this right now. Well, not really that. It's like, I was just like, man, I kind of feel bad. But in that situation, I don't feel like I would, I was kind of like trying to put myself into the game. I was like, what would I do in this situation? I was like, alright. So I'm considering, it's like, this is my best friend. Hung out, like, all our lives as children. I just don't see myself wanting this. So I was like, hey man, you're my best friend. Oh, I also hate that in games and medium in general, saying that you love someone has to lead to marriage or some sort of sexual connotation. You can't just say you love somebody. What? Why? It doesn't always have to be something that has to do with your genitalia. That's just I guess it's just a social disconnect that games have with in compared to people and, you know, entertainment. That disconnect, well, the love is that big word that people use when they have the pants feelings and the heart feelings. So I was just like, well, if I say the I love you choice, I know exactly what it's going to do. So I don't want to do that path. I want to do the path that I'm doing. And then she doesn't come to school the next day, and you're like, well, that's fucking weird. If only my friend with severe depression and just screamed in the middle of the middle of the road. If only she were here right now. If only she would have been answering her phone right now. If only I could get a hold of her. And then your guy's just like, he just now is just like, oh no, what if there is something amiss? I'm just like, oh my god, your character is so dense. He is so oblivious and absurdly stupid. And it was infuriating. I'm like, dude, even, like, the situation, I'm not going to go into detail of the entire situation, but the Sayori is, like, has really bad, just mental, like, problems. And you just let her go off alone after having a mental breakdown? No, you don't do that. You don't leave someone alone with their thoughts, ever, if there's something wrong with them. This is personal advice. If someone says they don't need you, and there's something wrong with them, you don't listen. You say, I don't care if you say that right now. You need me right now, alright? I need to be here for you. That's just my personal effect on that, alright? Don't be a crappy person. Be there for your friends. Just saying. But, so you get there, and she hung herself. You get to her house, she hung herself. I'm like, huh. I was like, well, I guess she's got nothing. I guess she's not a horror monster. I'm like, what's with all this EXE nonsense going on my screen right now? And then it does like unknown script errors, unforeseen data line or something weird like that. And then the game like crashes in a way. And I was like, wait a minute. So your guy's in like the middle of a monologue talking about, this isn't a game. I can't go back and fix the mistakes that I've made. And I'm like, wait a second. So I go to my load screen. I'm like, he's talking about this isn't a video game and I can't load. Is this like those games that I can't load in? The save screen's just a lie? So I go back and I hit the load button and it says Sayori character like .chr not found or something like that. And then it hits me. I'm like, this is a metagame. This is a metagame. This is a meta visual novel. I was like, that's brilliant. That's actually really nice and fresh. That's coming from someone who's, you know, just never played a visual novel before, so it might have been even more, it was even more just surprising for me. I've never been exposed to that genre. And I was just like, wow, that's really neato. cool. So I let my dude keep talking and talking and talking about, like, I can never fix the thing that happened, and then the game forcefully, like, crashes, and the glitchy stuff starts happening. I'm just like, ooh. But the only bad thing about when glitchy stuff starts happening, weird stuff happens, like, when a character should be there but isn't. So, weird things start happening that, like, exaggerated internal feelings of the character start popping up, and you're just like, something is not right. And the only one who doesn't seem to change at all is Monika, and you're like, well, this is weird. And she actually starts, like, talking about, like, weird stuff, like, about the internal workings of the characters, like, their backgrounds and their, stories, things you probably would have found out if this was an actual graphic novel and you were actually just able to go through it. So you go through this and you find out, okay, so the whole point of the game is Monika doesn't like the player character, she likes you. She is in love with you, the player. I'm just like, ooh. This fulfills that one, like, magical thing that every video game enthusiast ever, like, has ever just considered. Wouldn't it be cool if a character in the game actually knew me, or I could actually know them and connect with them on a personal level? So, I understand why you never got choices as the player character. It was more about you, the player, and being with your thoughts and talking, I think out loud most of the time, and talking to your screen. So what happens is you find out that Monika is, like, just exaggerated the problems that the characters had, just extremely exaggerated them. Like, I'm guessing, like, I never figured out what the little pink haired girl, like, her problem was. I think it said she had a bad home life. Pretty sure that's what it was. Bad home life. Feels safe at the club. I've only done one playthrough. I'm going to leave it alone for... I might fiddle with it, just, like, delete the characters right at the beginning of the game and see what happens after reinstalling, just out of curiosity. But after that, I'm just going to leave the game for a couple of years and maybe play back through it when I'm, like, I don't know, 23. Put that on the calendar. 2020, play Doki Doki again. And do a different route. That's how you space out your gaming experiences, people. But, eventually, Monika just deletes everybody in the game other than herself. And she makes a little room for y'all. And it is one of the coolest screens I've ever looked at in a video game. It was like a beyond the Black Mirror kind of thing. Like, the fourth wall. It wasn't a wall anymore. It was... She would talk about something, and then she wouldn't talk for a little bit. And that was to, like, emulate... She had something to say. You have something to say. Something that you're thinking about in your head. After she said something. It's to give you time to process what she said, and to not make it a one-sided conversation. And it's interesting. You look at this screen, and so many people have just used it in their thumbnails, and I hate that. I hate it. She is proportioned in a way on the screen, especially for the size screen I have, that it looks like she is on the other side of your computer desk and about 5 feet away from you. Like, you could reach out and touch. And that is just... Oh, that got me. That was freaking artistically pleasing. It was just like, look at this atmosphere. You can feel this right now. I feel like I'm in that dank classroom with all those stars swirling around outside. And it wasn't awkward. It didn't feel awkward ever. It just felt natural. It felt like a person almost. It was very convincing. And I like it when games do that, whenever they try and make the game and real world come together, either in a metaphorical sense or in a literal sense with like an AR game, like Pokemon Go. I love those sorts of things. But you go back and look at it, and the problem arises that I know this is going to sound dumb, but everything like that always gets extremely popular, and the fan base destroys it. It happened with Undertale. Undertale was a game that I really didn't enjoy, but I could see why people like it. I really could. I played the game for about 5 hours, and I was just like, this just isn't for me. I'm not having any fun. The game's sense of humor wasn't for me. Its tones were bland to me. I was like, oh, really? It is a little strange to think in an RPG it's bad to just go around killing all the monsters you don't know. We've gone over 15 minutes. I'm just gonna go for a little bit. If we around 25, I'll wrap it up. But it really upsets me that something that I found to be profound and interesting and unique will not seem that way just because of the sheer amount of people that find it to be amazing. And it's like Aerosmith. Everyone loves Aerosmith. Everyone loves the Eagles. That doesn't detract from how good they are. Well, I don't know. Maybe not everyone likes Aerosmith. Okay. Everyone likes the Eagles. They like the Beatles. They're the extremely popular things that people like. And whenever things like that come around, and not with music usually, but with things like movies and interactive medium and cartoons, the fan base has a tendency to kind of sully the experience. And I watched, was it 2 or 3? Okay. I watched a music video by it was what's it called? The Girl I Know, I think, by Mando Pony. Really like that guy. And then Nathan Sharp, Heart Records, which it's not Nate Wants to Battle anymore. It's Nathan Sharp with Heart Records or something like that. They did 3 songs. I watched those 3 songs, and there's just so much Doki Doki stuff on my feed now. I was just like, hey, no YouTube. I've gotten my fill of the game. And I see all of this, and it's upsetting. It turns the game, it's no longer a game, it's a social phenomena, if that makes any sense. It's like, okay. Think about it like, maybe not nearly as big, but think of it like My Little Pony. It's like people, you know how people just have the stigma of like, ugh, bronies. You know that stigma? I know that stigma. But it's not that there's something wrong with the people. It's the popularity and the nature of the show. So with the popularity and nature of Doki Doki, what's going to happen is there's either going to be imitators, and there's going to be more metagames, maybe some more weird graphic novels that come out. Visual novels that come out. It just is going to detract from the game. And I hate that. Things like that didn't used to happen. With Crash Bandicoot games and like Spyro the Dragon, GoldenEye. There were imitators, but it never really detracted from how amazing the originals were. Alright. So, if you watch this video and you've played the game before, just don't go too crazy with it. Just let it be that experience that you had. Let it be that interesting little day or a couple of days you had getting to know that Monica wanted to know you. And the other characters weren't real, but Monica was. And that's a kind of neat. That's kind of neat. I know it's a game, and I know you go to the Steam page and Monica talks to you in the Steam page, and I was just like, oh my gosh, she does. But that's my pen, sorry. Just take the moments you had with the game, or the moments you had vicariously with a YouTuber, and don't go too deep. Because whenever you expose yourself to too much of something, you can begin to hate it. I really don't want that for this game. I don't want that for anything, really. But this has been Spazzy Phantasm, and everybody, I will see y'all in the next video. Have a good day, have a good evening, have a good night. See y'all next time.